The Galaxy Z Fold 8 represents a huge shift away from Samsung's foldable strategy, inspired potentially by what's about to come from Apple. But what's it like? And is it the right way forward? Here's our full hands-on. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 is here, and we've had hands-on with everything that Samsung has dropped today. Today, in this video, we're going to focus specifically on the Galaxy Z Fold 8. From a hardware perspective, it's a drastic shift from Samsung. The switch from a narrow cover screen on the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and the previous generations before that to this new wider form factor is a massive step away from what they've been doing. On the cover screen here, we have a 5.5-inch 16:10 aspect ratio, meaning it's wider than the previous folds and also shorter. And then on the inside, it unfolds into a 7.6-inch 4:3 aspect ratio mini tablet, and it is wider than it is longer. It's also Samsung's lightest book-style foldable, coming in at just a shade over 200 grams, 201. And Samsung haven't managed to shave off or lose any performance metrics, even though it is that light. Inside the Galaxy Z Fold 8, you've got the Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite 5 for Galaxy, paired with a 4,800 mAh battery capacity. And it's utilizing, for the first time, silicon carbon technology. Samsung have told us they've been very selective with how much silicon they've used. They haven't wanted to overextend the silicon that's in the battery. They want to make sure it's got the longevity, especially because it has the 7 generations of OS updates. They want to make sure the battery matches that. But they've used silicon carbon so they can maintain a slimmer form factor and extend the capacity out. Huge news. Now, in terms of the design and how it feels to actually hold this thing, it's incredibly cute to hold. It feels actually quite fun. And I don't know whether it's because it's new, and sometimes when you have something new and different, it kind of feels fun for the start, but it definitely has a bit of a nice feel about it. It's very compact, but also large at the same time. It's that combination though of the smallish cube form factor when it's closed and the fact it only weighs 201 grams that makes it feel kind of fun and expressive. Because of the 16:10 aspect ratio on the front, I can totally see it being a really fun social media device. One that helps you with your content scrolling and gives you a really nice aspect ratio to view all of that media on. And to be honest, even watching YouTube on the cover screen isn't so bad. The 16:10 aspect ratio, as I said, kind of suits watching that YouTube format. But of course, again, you're not getting a foldable without taking advantage of that inner display. So opening it up to that more expansive 7.6-inch inner screen, that's truly where the magic can happen for content. The crease has virtually been eliminated. Samsung have got a new sort of structure with the display, including something called a titanium alloy plate, which sits underneath, which is there to sort of help with the durability, but also help with reducing the crease. You can obviously still see that something's there, but it's not this big giant gutter, and when the screen is on, you barely even notice it at all. We will see though over time how that develops because of course, it's brand new for now. Samsung have boosted the brightness of the display to 3000 nits on the inside, which is just staggeringly bright. And you've also got an anti-reflective layer there too, which is great, especially if you're viewing content outdoors. It's going to just bounce those reflections away and keep you immersed in the content. From a camera perspective, there isn't a lot to write home about. It's a dual 50 megapixel camera setup. You've got the ultra-wide 50 megapixel camera, which has an f1.9 aperture, which is the same as the S26 Ultra's ultra-wide camera. So you've got a flagship camera there, and the main camera is the 50 megapixel camera from the base S26 and S26 Plus, and the same as the Z Flip 8, I'm pretty sure. So it's not quite the 200 megapixel camera, but the dual 50 megapixel setup is still quite strong. There is some new video features on board with the Galaxy Z Fold 8. I talk a little bit more about them in the Flip 8 and the Fold 8 Ultra videos because I think they're more conducive to that style of content. And when we get to One UI 9 in that video too, I'll talk about them there as well. I'm going to go through One UI 9 in its full on the Galaxy Z Fold 8 that I've got here, so make sure you go check that out. It's got all of your rear cam selfie stuff that you might expect it to have because of the fact it's that foldable format. However, what's missing is flex mode. The hinge on the Galaxy Z Fold 8 just isn't as sturdy as it was previously. The Fold 8 Ultra still maintains all that sort of stuff, but on the Fold 8, because of this style of foldable, when it gets to a certain point, it just flops open and you just don't have the capability of using flex mode. A little bit disappointing. It would have been nice, especially with that big top screen to be able to use it, but it's just not there. I gotta say, first impressions of this are incredibly solid. Having this pocketable form factor, like look how cute that is. and just how tiny and thin and light it is. It's really, really fun to hold and interact with. It's something different. The way it can be used in portrait orientation when it's open, you get the really long, elongated, like really mini tablet style form factor. It's great for a number of different things. Great for reading like news articles if you wanted to consume that sort of written form content or even books. And it's also really good for short form content too, because it's really stretched out over the screen and gives you a nice immersive experience. And then when you expand it into the widescreen format, again, watching media stretched across there is really enjoyable. It's just a really nice wide aspect and the content fits the display quite nicely. Time will tell with this, how the battery holds up, how the performance holds up, how the cameras hold up, whether you miss having an extra telephoto camera on here or whether the dual cameras is enough. Kind of reminds me of the S25 Edge from last year, although that did have a 200 megapixel main camera, which meant the zoom was a little bit stronger. So we'll just wait and see how this goes with that 50 megapixel 1x camera, whether that's enough, whether it required more. Either way, this isn't meant to be a camera-focused device. This is definitely more of a convenience thing and a form factor play, and I imagine over time Samsung might change that if this becomes the most popular style foldable. Because honestly, from a form factor and design point of view, Samsung have a winner here. This form factor and design is something I think that a lot of people will enjoy and a lot of people will find fun to use. Cover screen, great. Inner display, great. Pocketable factor, great. Everything's great. First impressions, tick. So that's the Galaxy Z Fold 8, at least from a first impressions hands-on point of view. Obviously, we'll have reviews, and as time goes on, we'll be able to let you know more about it. As of now, hit subscribe to SamMobile TV. Go check us out on our website, sammobile.com. Find us on all our socials. And if you want to order anything that Samsung have put live today, use the links in the description. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.